Good morning, thanks for joining me. I hope everybody's well. A few days ago I touched upon the fact in one of my Vlogmas videos that I was finding nasty comments difficult to deal with and hurtful. That situation has got worse since I talked about it, and not only have unpleasant comments continued, they have appeared in inboxes, not just in comments. And there was a mention of me on another channel, not in an unpleasant way by the YouTuber, but I felt that it was perhaps something where I shouldn't have been name checked, if I'm perfectly honest. And the comments there, some of them reflected that. It's just been really hard, if I'm honest, really hard and really hurtful. I must also acknowledge at this point how many of you left lovely comments in response to when I talked about having received the comments, now they're affecting me. So many of you left lovely comments, so thank you for that. That's very much appreciated. As a YouTuber, you expect, and this is so wrong, so very wrong, you expect a level of abuse. It goes with the territory, unfortunately. And I'm not talking about the people who offer constructive criticism. I've always been open to constructive criticism on my channel, but just nasty, vicious assaults on my character are just not okay. And sometimes you can deal with it okay, sometimes you can brush it off and carry on, and sometimes when the other things in your life aren't going so well, or for whatever reason, you just can't. And I was already feeling pretty low about it, and then last night Ashley and I had a pleasant evening watching the television, and as I do during Vlogmas, because of the daily videos, I clicked onto my YouTube comments and this comment was sitting there. I'll pop it up on the screen for you, but let me read it out. Comment from somebody called Alison Newcomb. I have just lost my cat and I am devastated. I am amazed at how cold-hearted you are towards Ronnie. You were the same when Reggie passed on. My gut literally twisted as I read that. I felt a physical sensation in my stomach. I assume that what triggered Alison Newcomb's comment was Ashley and I were chatting in the car on, I can't remember if it was Saturday's vlog or Sunday's vlog. It was on Saturday as we were driving up to Sherborne. Excuse me. And I said that we had been talking about the cat dying. Let me just give you some context for that. I generally credit my viewers with enough intelligence and hopefully knowledge of me to know that I wouldn't be joking about my cat dying. The background of that comment, and I realise I don't have to justify myself, but I feel that I need to in this instance. I had two cats, they're brothers, Ron and Reg. We've had them for, I think Ron's 17 now. Reg died very suddenly, just before COVID, February 2020, and I was devastated. Firstly, I cried on camera, telling you guys about the fact he died. I also cried in private for a long time. I still miss that cat every day. He was my little treasure, he really was. And for someone to say that I didn't care when my cat died broke me. What the hell did you want, Alison, from me when Reg died? What did you want? A little home video of me and Ashley sobbing in the vets as we stayed with him while he was put to sleep? Was that what you would have liked? Would that have proved that I cared about my cat? Is that what you need? So we were left with one cat, Ron, and Ron is an old man. Ron has never been a house cat. Ron spends a lot of time outside. Reg was very much the cat that was in the house, and Ron is not really a people cat. He's not big into people at all. He will come in, have his food, and most of the time he'll be back off outside, a little bit less so in the winter, but certainly in the summer we hardly see him at all apart from food. And we would like another cat. We would love to get another cat or a kitten. And that was the conversation that Ashley and I had been having in the car on Saturday about whether or not we should get another cat. And we decided that because Ron is elderly and he's never liked other cats, he didn't even like his own brother very much, that it would be too upsetting for him if we got another cat. He would not settle with it. And so we decided to forego our desire to get a new cat, because we thought it was more important for him to have happy twilight years, however many years he's got left, on his own without the added stress of another cat. So that was the context we were talking about him dying in. So there you go. That's my cold-hearted behaviour to my cat for you. It's not just about this comment. Please don't think that this is only about this comment. This comment was just the straw that broke the camel's back, which was very heavily laden already, to be honest. I know that a lot of you will say you should just ignore the haters, but from my point of view, it is so hard to always do that. And it's not just me. I know from other creators as well, they find it sometimes very hard to just let insults and abuse roll over your head and just keep on going. You know, it is hard sometimes. In the almost 10 years since I first dabbled in having a YouTube channel, online abuse has become almost the norm, not just on YouTube, but everywhere. It seems to have become something that goes hand in hand with putting yourself out there on the internet. There are places on the internet that are set up purely to pick apart the lives of social media influencers and celebrities, literally to nitpick every detail of their appearance, their home, their family, their lives, where they go on holiday, what they eat. It's relentless. And even if you don't visit those places, which I never do, because who wants to read that sort of shit about themselves? Even if you don't go there, it's there in the back of your mind all the time that you're creating content. What would they say about this? Can this be misinterpreted? And you find yourself trying to make yourself so innocuous, and you twist yourself up in knots about the way you say things. You overthink every single thing. I have loved sharing my life on YouTube over the years. I've really loved it. It was a hobby. It became something I made some money from, a part of my business, and I've loved every step and every moment of success that I've had. I really have. But the time has come for me to take a step back and reassess. My gut feeling is that I'm not stopping for good and completely, but my gut feeling is also that things will change what I am prepared to share of my life, and the types of videos that I will make. Now, I don't do this lightly. A big part of me feels like I'm letting you guys down with Vlogmas, and I'm sorry about that. But I really can't. I just can't with it anymore. Sorry. I'd like to end on a slightly more positive note. I'd like to thank all the people who have left lovely comments all through the years. Very much, and more specifically on my recent videos that my mum was in. Several of you complimented her and said how nice she was looking and how well, and she phoned me and said how much that meant to her and how she felt really buoyed up by it. So those kind words really did mean a lot, both to me and to my mum, so thank you. Right, that's it. I won't belabor the point because, as you can see, not at my best. Thanks for watching. It's now about a day and a half since I filmed what you've just seen, and I'm fine. I wanted to reassure you that I'm fine. I watched back the footage and edited it this morning, and it was a hard watch and a hard edit, so I apologise if it was a hard watch for any of you as well. I have toyed with, or not toyed with, I've seriously thought about whether or not I should put that video out there, or whether I should re-record something that's just a generic, I need a bit of a break, I'm stopping Vlogmas. And after a lot of reflection, I've decided to go ahead and upload the video, but with this on the end of it, for a couple of reasons really. The first and most important one being that if watching that video, or this video, makes the difference and stops one person at some point in the future leaving a horrible, potentially hurtful comment on somebody's video, then it will have been worth it. It may not, I will never know, but perhaps it might just give someone somewhere in the future pause for thought before they take to their keyboard. I hope so. The second reason I wanted to go ahead with putting up that video, this video, is that it felt cathartic getting some of that off my chest. I'm not gonna lie, it really did. It's all too easy to listen to the people who say, just ignore it, let it go over your head. But it doesn't, it hurts. It's an eviscerating hurt inside a lot of the time. And I think there's not enough said about that. So I'm adding to my voice to the voice of those who talk about it. Having had the time to reflect a little more on the situation, I'm going to take the positives from it, and I'm going to take this period of reassessment that I talked about earlier on as something positive. I feel like perhaps the time has come to change the content on here a little bit. Perhaps as your audience grows and the number of people who watch you grow, perhaps it is not appropriate to share so much personal detail of my life, and perhaps it needs to become more generic. And probably because it's happened over a period of time, I haven't maybe recognised that. So I'm going to reflect on that a bit more as well. I do have a couple of contractual obligations to fulfil this month with brands, so I will be back. I'll be back anyway, but I'll be back before Christmas. I'm going to do an advent calendar update at some point, and perhaps something else as well. I'm not entirely sure yet, but thank you for bearing with. I'm sorry for the rather emotional video, and rest assured I am not looking for an outpouring of sympathy. I'm going to switch the comments off. I'm sure you will understand why. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.